Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting right into the details of critical environment monitoring. We're talking about the nervous systems for your most important infrastructure, like server rooms and cold storage. We've got a stack of sources here comparing two key NTI and Verom-UX systems. First, there's a low-cost E-1WD, and then we have the small enterprise unit, the E-2D. Our whole mission here is to really map out the leap between them in scale, in control, and, in resilience.
Okay, let's unpack this. So the E-1WD, this is really where it all starts, right? It handles the essentials.
Exactly. You've got temperature, humidity, liquid presence, power, intrusion, smoke, all the fundamentals. The real magic, though, is its one-wire sensor interface. And what's so special about the one-wire architecture?
Well, it's all about getting maximum sensor coverage with minimal wiring. It's incredibly efficient. The E-1WD pulls this off with just two standard phone-style RJ11 jacks.
Just two. So how much can you actually plug into those two lines?
It's surprisingly a lot. You can run up to 24 single-reading sensors total. So I think, 24 individual temperature probes. Or if you use a more complex combination sensors, the ones that read temperature, humidity, and dew point, each one of those counts as 3. So you can run 8 of those.
And how far can those wires actually go?
That's the other key part. You get up to 600 feet of cable. That's 183 meters on each of those connectors. That covers a lot of ground.
So an alert gets triggered. How does this foundational unit, how does it call for help?
The main channels are email, its own web page, and of course network management through SNMP. It can do SMS, but it has to route that through an email to SMS gateway.
Right, so it's not a direct connection.
No, not native. And users can set up to 32 individual alerts plus one smart alert, which is pretty neat. It only triggers if several conditions are met at the same time.
That feels pretty solid for monitoring.
Yeah.
But moving from just monitoring to, actively managing a crisis, that's where the E-2D comes in. What's the big leap there?
The whole context shifts. The E-2D isn't just a sensor collector. It becomes a network supervisor. It runs Linux internally.
Which lets it do what exactly?
It can actively monitor or ping up to 64 other devices on your network. That's a huge jump from the 4 devices that E-1WD can watch. You also get 5 digital inputs instead of just 2.
And what about the alerting? Because in a real disaster, that email to SMS gateway on the E-1WD might not cut it.
For truly critical sites, it's probably not enough. The E-2D adds direct options. You can have it make voice phone calls with an automatic dialer, and it supports a USB 3G modem for native SMS.
That is a big deal.
It is. An email isn't going to wake up a tech at 3 a.m. A phone call absolutely will. Plus, your email list nearly doubles from 9 recipients to 17.
And then there's the single output relay. That feels like the real sign that you've moved from passive to active control.
Absolutely. That relay is the first step towards your infrastructure trying to save itself. It lets IT staff remotely trigger external devices like, say, powering something off or on using standard SNMP commands.
So you could, automatically turn on a backup fan if a temperature threshold is crossed?
Exactly. The machine can try to fix the problem before a human even has to intervene.
Okay, let's hit the final, most critical piece, power redundancy.
Right, the ultimate safety net. And this is where things get layered. Both models have dual DC power inputs. If one fails, it just automatically switches to the other.
That's a solid baseline.
It is, but the E-2D adds another layer on top, an optional rechargeable lithium battery. That gives you about 2 hours of backup after both DC sources fail.
Wow. And I saw there's even a specialty model, the E1WP.
Yeah, that one achieves triple redundancy. It takes the dual DC inputs and adds power over Ethernet PoE to the mix.
So what does this all mean? We've really traced the path from, foundational sensing with one-wire technology all the way up to a system with deep network oversight, active control, and these really robust layered power backups.
And this raises an important question, I think. The E-2D has 2 alert levels, non-critical and critical. Now, given all its power, the SNMP control, that output relay, how much self-healing can a system like that actually automate between that first non-critical warning and a human finally having to step in? That's something to mull over.